Hello, everybody. Hope everyone is having a good Sunday. The DUI guy is back, and we are going to be streaming live at a not so usual time, Sunday night. Normally we stream, as you all know, on Saturday evenings. And today is going to be a little bit unusual. We're going to be streaming on Sunday, having some fun, having a little chitter chatter, and hopefully have some fun here. Sorry, I don't have my microphone with me today. I'm streaming lo-fi, as you can see, with my fancy Google speakers, or headphones, I guess, and my phone. Hi, Tandy. Hey, Don. Hey, Ziggy. How y'all doing today? Hey, Dracula256 from Alabama. How's the weather down there? How is the weather down in Alabama? Arkansas, Pennsylvania. Evening, Laszlo. How you doing, buddy? Evening, Laszlo. How you doing? Oh, snap. That was me. Sorry about that. There we go. Now we got some comments on here too, so I'll be able to read them. Hey, Richard. Wisconsin. Hello, Wisconsin. I'm still waiting for people to pour in here a little bit so that we can start having some fun. Today is just going to be, we're not really going to be talking about laws. We're just going to be hanging out, having some fun, maybe doing a giveaway. I haven't really decided yet. Just having some fun, having a little chitter chatter on a Sunday. I know everybody's super excited to get back to work tomorrow. Not. Hey, Kim, good to have you. Hey, Carrie. Sick of stupid people out of Southern California. I'm filming vertically because it's easier for me to hold my phone as I'm reading the comments on my computer. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be reading your comments, having some fun. Well, shoot, if you're going to sue me for filming vertically, then you might as well just go ahead and file the complaint right now. We are going to be filming vertically today, ladies and gentlemen. Am I going to be giving away a free DUI defense coupon? No, that would be silly, because that would mean that you are planning on getting a DUI, which is not the point of this channel. Doggo is sleeping. She's resting right now. Hey, Bob. One thing I forgot to get me a drink of water. I knew I forgot something, so let me go ahead and do that real quick. Let me grab a, what do we have here? We got some Gatorade. Let's grab some Gatorade. Waiting for people to pour in here so that we can start having some fun talking about your comments. That's what we're doing today. We're talking about your comments. That's what we're going to be doing. So what I need from you all, my name's Larry, Richard. Hey, extortion watchers. What I need from you all is I need you all to pick a video. It doesn't have to be one of the more recent ones. But it can be any video of mine that I've posted that you think the comments are worthy, if you will, on. And I want to just go on there and read some of the more, shall we say, unique comments that I've seen. So I need you all to pick a video. Pick a video that you like the comments in, and we're gonna start tackling these videos one by one. I'm just gonna leave this open so I don't have to keep screwing the cap off. Got that salt and pepper going. That's right, Don. So go to my video section. You can sort it by oldest, newest, most popular, whatever you want. And give me a video to start with. And we'll go to those comments first. Thank you, Gwendolyn. The Pro Say series, no, those videos are gone. Well, I guess I'll start us off. I've never done this particular type of video yet. Yeah, it's hard to pick one, Angela. Anything with wheels you can get a DUI on, pretty much anything, Cole. A bicycle, you can't get a motor DUI on it if it's pedaled. That's right, Astrid. Shut up, don't blow. So, Don, what we're doing is we're picking a video. Let's take the most popular video. So the video that received 1 million views, 1 million views was this one right here, okay? This is the one we're gonna start with. This is the DUI second out of Henderson County, the marijuana DUI second. I'm going to go through and review some of the comments that I found, both funny, silly, crazy, stupid. I mean, all of the above. We're just going to be having a little bit of fun here. Nothing too extreme, nothing that's going to make you work your brains. We're just here to have a little bit of fun. So one of the comments a month ago by Shaneri says, giving police the ability to turn off their cameras is madness. Now, up until the Black Lives Matter movement really picked up, which, as you all know, I'm a huge supporter of. Before that picked up, cameras, I mean, people talked about police cameras and police turning off their cameras or not having cameras or having them, turning them on and turning them off. As you all know, in some departments across the country and a lot of places here in Kentucky, cameras are simply non-existent. Like the Kentucky State Police, here's a fun story for you. The Kentucky State Police, a few years ago, they decided to install video cameras, dash cams. I don't think they had body cams yet, but they were gonna go for that if I remember correctly. But anyway, they installed dash cameras, and what started happening was too many people too many of their troopers. Kentucky State Police have troopers. Kentucky State Police troopers were violating the law too much, left and right. And the problem was they, oh God, this is gonna be loud. I don't know if you guys can still hear me, but this AC is gonna kill me. Let me turn it off for now. How do I turn this bloody thing off? I just said off. Off. This thing just won't listen. All right, let's set it to like 80. Maybe then we'll turn itself off in a second, hopefully. Okay. So what they did, what the Kentucky State Police Department did, is they installed all those dash cameras, and all of a sudden, the troopers started getting into trouble, and they started losing cases left and right because their troopers were poorly trained. They were executing bad searches. They were executing bad warrants. They were arresting people they were not supposed to arrest. They were doing things they were not supposed to do. And they were just losing cases. So what happened is they made up an excuse. They said that these cameras are too expensive and too costly to maintain. And so they removed them. They simply got rid of all of their cameras. There is not one. Remember, this is not like Jefferson County or Shelby County or Bullitt County. This is Kentucky State Police, okay? Kentucky State Police removed all of the cameras all across the entire Commonwealth. All of it has been removed, all the cameras. And now, anytime you ask a trooper, why don't you have a body camera? Oh, nobody on the force has a body camera. And if you do continue to pry and ask the question, usually they'll default to that lie, the original lie. They're too expensive to maintain, which is complete horse shit. Okay, these departments have plenty of money. They just don't want these cameras on their cruisers because police officers get in trouble and because they can't do their job correctly. So now with this comment was made a month ago, giving the police the ability to turn their cameras off is complete madness, which I, again, completely agree with. Some of them have something called badge cams. Badge cams are different from body cams, whereas body cams are continuously running. Badge cams can be turned on and off at a press of a button, and actually they're only turned on and off whenever the officer presses the button. Fulton County does it. Henderson County does badge cams. Campbell County does badge cams. But the majority of departments across the country, across Kentucky, if they even have those, they typically will not have any type of equipment. Jefferson County pretty much universally has body cams, but most other jurisdictions I've been to, there is no video. There is absolutely no video. On a rare occasion, you may get one, but it's madness. It really is madness, and it's crazy. And I agree, Jay, it should be mandatory for every police, sheriff, any type, because you got to remember, it doesn't simply protect the individual. It also protects the officer in the event of a shootout or something like that, where the police officer has to act in self-defense. It protects and shields the officer who's patrolling at nighttime, when it's dark, when it's dangerous, when there really is crime afoot. So it's not just a protection for us, the citizenry, it's also protection for the police department. And unfortunately, because they were losing too many cases, at least here in Kentucky with the cameras, they're just like, okay, easy solution, just take them all off and everybody wins. Which, again, I wholeheartedly disagree with. I cannot even describe how crazy that is. And hopefully now with the BLM movement, we might be able to see more and more cameras sprouting in different departments. And you can bet your ass that the citizens are gonna answer. They're gonna answer for all of this. Let's see. Yes, I am dressed down tonight, Gang of Four. We're doing a little Sunday Funday. I figured there was no reason for me to get dressed up for that. So let's see. It should be mandatory for everybody, like we said. Okay, so let's move on to the next comment that is going to catch my attention. We're still on that same video. Here's the link for all of you that may have missed. This is the most popular video of my channel at just over 1 million views. It's almost at 1.1. Wow, it's almost at 1.1 million views. Anytime a cop says, "Not that I can recall," someone needs to simply raise a sign that says "lies." if you noticed in a lot of my videos, when an officer is asked a question by me, well, first of all, when he's asked a question by the prosecutor, the cop always tries to kind of wiggle in an answer that's going to hurt the defense, that's going to hurt the client. Any time that they can argue that my client did something wrong or something bad, they'll always try and kind of finagle their way into stating that whatever the client did is more damaging than it actually was in reality, because the officer will make it sound as if it was a whole lot worse than in reality. And it's actually quite crazy that anytime I ask a question and I know the answer, you never ask a question you don't already know the answer to on cross-examination. And I know the answer because my client told me, and I'll ask the question of the cop, and the cop knows that this is a really damaging answer, and they don't want to say it. They'll just say, well, I don't recall that. No, I don't remember that happening, actually. No, I don't know. And if my client takes the stand and testifies, well, they make the cop look like a dumbass because the officer said he doesn't remember, and now that makes him look like a liar. So you're absolutely right. Joseph Grigoletti commented 2 weeks ago. It does say it has been edited. I don't know how recently it's been edited, but you're absolutely right. Anytime a cop says, not that I can recall, or I don't remember, I don't recall, or I'm not sure, I'm not certain, those are all weasel words for, I know the answer, it's going to hurt me. I mean, sometimes they truly don't remember, but a lot of these times it's a good fact for us, and they don't want to share it with the jury. And I completely understand it. I mean, if I had bad facts in my case, I wouldn't want to highlight them either. The only problem is you're an officer of the law, and you're not supposed to fucking lie on the stand. So when you do that, you make yourself look bad, you make your department look bad, you make the courtroom look bad, you make the judge look bad, you make the prosecutor look bad. The only person that looks good in that courtroom is me and my client, which I'm okay with. But it takes, you got to get to that point. It doesn't just, automatically happen. You have to actually paint the cop and show where he screwed up. We're still waiting, by the way, James Mack, great question. Any update on qualified immunity? We're still waiting on the Supreme Court. I mean, it feels like they're punting it day in and day out. They just keep pushing it out and pushing it out and pushing it out. I don't know if the Supreme Court is going to make a ruling this week. I'm really hoping for it, but I don't know. It's really they have a very, very tough decision to make on qualified immunity. The Supreme Court has literally in their hands a 60-year-old doctrine, and they have three options. The hardest one, which is not going to happen, the hardest one is to do away with it completely. Baldeep Singh, please do not spam the channel. You will be silenced if you spam the channel. The Supreme Court has a very, very tough decision to make. So option number one, they can completely shut down and destroy qualified immunity, which is not going to happen because it's going to open the floodgates to litigation. It's going to open the doors to all these lawsuits that do not belong anywhere near the courtroom. But something's got to be done. Option number two is to limit qualified immunity and make qualified immunity a much narrower standard. So basically refine it. So far, it's been given more and more and more and more and more latitude. And it's been very, what's it called? Difficult. It's been exponentially more difficult to sue these departments, you see, and police officers in particular. Suing the city, forget about it. I mean, that's the epitome of all epitomes. Sometimes you have to overcome sovereign immunity, which sovereign immunity or absolute immunity, also almost synonymous, essentially, almost impossible to overcome. I mean, you have to show an active, open, blatant, knowing violation of the law. With a police officer, at least you can show that, I mean, it's still difficult. It's still difficult. You got the state and federal standards and then the actual tort itself. So it's still extremely difficult to prove. But the interesting thing is the third option. And this, I'm almost afraid to even speak aloud, but who knows? I'm sure the Supreme Court is considering it regardless. This option is to allow cities, okay? Well, not so much cities, but whoever the defendant is. So let's say John Doe gets shot and killed by a police officer. John Doe's estate sues the police officer, John Smith, and let's call her Jane Smith to change it up a little bit. So Jane Smith is the cop, John Doe is the victim. So John Doe's estate sues, and Jane Smith has the option. So how does qualified immunity work? When you file suit in federal court against a police officer, in this case Jane Smith does not automatically get qualified immunity out of thin air magically. It appears over her head, and now, you know, it's a halo that is kind of like over her, and now you have to, as the plaintiff, you have to battle, and you have to face battle with this qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is not a sword either. It's not something that they pull out and now you have to struggle with. It is a shield, and it is an optional shield. So what does that mean? That means after you file suit, discovery begins. Discovery is just a fancy word for you're discovering facts about the case, if you want to look at it that way. Depositions are scheduled, interrogatories are filed, requests for production of documents are filed, requests for admissions, all those legal tools that allow the lawyer to learn more about the case, right? By the way, don't forget to like this video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I go live or post a new video. And thank you all for joining us, whoever is here. You have all these discovery tools. And what are these discovery tools used for? They're used to discover, right, information about the case. Now, once you have completed discovery, the city, the police officer, the government entity, whatever it may be, has an option to raise this so-called qualified immunity shield, right? That's all it is. It's a shield. Because the allegations in your complaint are nothing but torts, usually, right? Intentional torts, battery, assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, wrongful death, loss of consortium. All of those things are tortious, right? And they can be pretty easy to prove, or they can be pretty difficult to prove, depending on what type of case it is. Well, this is where I have a feeling the Supreme Court will step in. So the government has this option. When you file suit and you say you've done this, 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 and this, Jane Smith in our case, right? They're going to say, wait a second, John Doe. We are raising qualified immunity. Now, this is another barrier that the plaintiff must overcome in order to win their case, right? And they'll raise usually both the state and the federal standards, especially if you're suing in federal court. Well, here's the kicker. This is option number 3, the middle ground for the Supreme Court to use. And I don't know how it would be applied, even if they chose this route, but this is a possibility. And one of my professors from law school, Professor Marcuson, God bless him, brilliant constitutional professor, those are his words. This is where I'm getting this from, this idea that the Supreme Court could say, wait a minute, this is used as a shield, right? Qualified immunity is a shield. So how about the government will choose if the facts are such and such, if they're so egregious that to the plain naked eye, it's obvious that no reasonable person, blah, 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 it will not be raised. Now, the danger with that is, if the Supreme Court does indeed say that, There is not one defense firm in the nation that will just go, okay, great. I won't raise this defense anymore, because they win so many cases. They win as much as, I think I've read somewhere in the last 3 years, they've been winning like 56% of cases on qualified immunity alone. It's crazy. So it certainly requires some sort of narrowing. You can't leave qualified immunity as is. And I think the Supreme Court was supposed to rule on it like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I just keep pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back, because they just don't know what to do. And they're trying to figure out some sort of middle ground that's going to work for everybody. And it's not easy, because it has gone out of control. It has completely escaped the realm of reasonableness. I mean, think about it. A person has to prove that the cop intentionally shot. That's easy. But then they also have to show that the cop intentionally or knowingly violated the law or acted with complete incompetence, was blatantly incompetent, is the actual quote-unquote language from the cases. So it's not an easy task to show that. Not an easy task at all. And there are cases that show, and you have to show parallels as to why your case is more similar to the ones where qualified immunity was waived, or waived, versus all the cases where it was not imposed, or imposed or not imposed. So it's definitely difficult. It's definitely not an easy task, but the Supreme Court now has to decide. And I do not envy their position, because they require a lot of work, and they require a lot of brain power to come up with something that is going to balance the forces. Okay, because you still have the government. You have the government that wants qualified immunity. They want this protection. They need this protection, so they claim, because, and in all fairness, I do foresee if you completely do away with qualified immunity, you are going to have lots and lots of frivolous cases popping up, and the government is just going to be helpless and overridden with all these cases. Maybe that's a good alternative. Maybe that is a good idea, at least to test the waters and see where it leads us. The government is simply lacking in its ability to, they want to enforce qualified immunity on everything. And they just want to push that doctrine with absolute, with no discretion. They just want to push it on every single case. And that's the problem with the system. So I'm hoping the Supreme Court finds a decent balance. I guess that remains to be seen. I mean, I'm not sure what sort of balance you can strike. I mean, that's why they're the Supreme Court justices, and I'm not. But I think it's going to be interesting to watch. And hopefully over the next couple of weeks, I'm hoping it's not going to take longer than that, but hopefully over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have an answer. We're going to have an idea of where it's headed. So let's see. Let's go back to the comments. Police officers should have at least 2 years worth of training. 5 to 7 months is just not enough, says Marshmallow. I completely agree. There's some departments, I think somebody commented not that long ago, in Scotland that get 2 years worth of training or something like that. They require a degree, they require a formal education, none of which is required in the United States. I think a cop can be a high school grad and go to the academy, and then voila, 3-4 months later, they're a cop. It's frightening. It's really frightening. I think now they require a little bit more. Now it's 978 hours. 978 hours, which is, if you divide by 40, is 24 weeks. So about 6 months. They used to require like 4 months. It was crazy. It was even less than, it was like 3.5 months. Now at least they require 6 months worth of training. So it's gotten a little bit better. But again, think about it. 6 months, you get a gun, a badge, and you can effect arrests. You need to help civilians who are in distress, who are in trouble, who may be causing trouble against each other. I mean, it is absolutely maddening how little training a lot of these officers get. That's the academy. And in some states, you're right, Kim Berger, going back to qualified immunity, in med-mal cases, you need another professional stating that you have a meritorious claim before you can file a lawsuit. Maybe they should have the same with police lawsuits. I disagree. Again, this is going back to like the medical panels that they have here in Kentucky. They've implemented those a few years ago, and I don't know how well those have been doing, to be honest. It's just you have a panel of 3 doctors, 3 experts, and as long as 2 of them vote that your claim is meritorious, they will allow your suit to go forward. But again, I'm not sure that's the best route with police claims. Again, it's something to be, tested, but then corruption steps in, and what are you going to do? Are you going to have 3 police chiefs on this panel who could be bought and sold, or are you going to have somebody? Are you going to have judges, which doesn't make any sense? Who can you have? Who can you have? So I don't know. 6 months, going back to the training, 6 months of training is not enough, as has been shown time and time and time again. A lot of these cops are just high school bullies who are given power to bully people in the streets. That's all it is. And they're getting away with it. They're sadistic. They're sick. They have very serious problems. And they're out there right now. As we sit here right now, they're out there patrolling the street, enforcing the law, or doing whatever they feel they need to be doing under the guise of enforcing the law. Power hungry. Exactly, Dave. So something needs to be done about that. And again, that's a whole different topic. Police officers need a lot more training. Another very interesting comment by Servant of Lord on that video. We're still talking about the... yes, we have no more no-knock warrants in Kentucky. Those have been done away with. So, a victory for the good guys. That happened a couple days ago. Shout out to Jessica Green, who is my landlord. She helped get this bill passed. Servant of Lord, commenting on that video I just gave you the link to. This cop talking about Officer Forker. This cop had all kinds of drugs on him. I wonder if he has ever planted any in someone's car. I'm sorry, but I smell bacon, he says. And that's kind of a unique position that the officer finds himself in. I mean, think about it. If you've listened to, it's a pretty long video. I will not be surprised if most of you have not seen it from beginning to end. It's an hour and 40 minutes, so it's a huge chunk of your time, believe me, I know. I'm not asking you all to go and watch it, but the officer at one point testifies that he on him carries a whole bunch of drugs. carries a whole bunch of drugs, like heroin, cocaine, marijuana, and something else. I remember those three at least. And well, he was a canine. He was a canine officer, and he had those drugs in order to let the dog periodically. He had to train the dog periodically. Maybe meth. Yeah, you're right, Jamie. Maybe meth. I don't remember. Anyway, he had to periodically retrain the dog on those different drugs, right? Well, here's the problem. He's carrying class 1 narcotics in his car, whatever they're called. The name is escaping me right now. Sorry, it's a Sunday night, so you're gonna have to cut me some slack here, boys and girls. Schedule 1, there we go. Schedule 1. Schedule 1 narcotics with him in his cruiser. Narcotics that are controlled substances, yeah, and narcotics that are illegal, have absolutely no medical value according to the FDA, no medical purpose. And he has these on his person at all times when he's patrolling the streets. I mean, that is scary, because we've all heard those stories about officers planting drugs, planting guns on people. And it's so easy to get a dog to hit. I mean, all you do is just, tap a certain way, and the dog is gonna. There was a study that came out, I think, just a couple of weeks ago. At least I saw it. I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and it said that a lot of these police dogs, in order to appease their owners, will simply signal on a vehicle even when there's absolutely nothing in the car. And the only reason is because the dog wanted to be useful, to be good to its owner, because he likes its owner or she likes their owner, right? It's very, very suspicious. Very suspicious to have a police officer with so many drugs on them at all times, where they can simply plant them and again, we entrust them with this power because we hope that they will enforce the law. Well, what happens when police officers break the law in order to get their way? Some motorist, I remember a cop testifying to this. If a motorist gave me too much lip, he says, I have a little baggie of cocaine. It was cocaine residue in it. If my supervisor or my chief knew or found out about it, I'd just get a slap on the wrist. I probably forgot it to put it into evidence or something like that. But I would use it to, plant on the driver. They would use the little baggie of cocaine residue to plant it into the driver's seat or under the mat or something while they're searching. And then they find it and they go, hey, what's this? They go, that's not mine. What are you doing? I have nothing to do with this. And lo and behold, they would effect an arrest, and it would be a legal arrest. And that is a Class D felony in Kentucky to have cocaine possession. Doesn't matter if it's residue or not. As long as you got anything remotely resembling and is cocaine, that's enough. And that is scary AF. Jamie Hoover, completely agree. So it's just crazy to have so many officers openly, unapologetically violate the law. And we, the defense attorneys, we are the only line of defense between you and them, and justice. I see people are talking about fingerprints. Jan Reynolds, you're mentioning fingerprints. You know how difficult, expensive, and unrealistic it is to get fingerprints off a baggie. And by the way, his fingerprints are going to be on that bag anyway, because he's going to be the one picking it up and taking it into evidence, right? No one is going to be doing fingerprint analysis on that bag. They're just going to go to court, cop a plea. If they even hire a lawyer, usually what they would do, they would plant the drugs on someone in a very poor neighborhood who cannot afford a lawyer, and they know they can't afford a lawyer. These cops know. They know their victims. They know their subjects. And now this poor schmuck is either going to have a Class D, excuse me, he's going to be a convicted felon with a Class D felony on his record. He's going to be a convicted felon, or he's going to have maybe a Class A misdemeanor conviction on his record, maybe drug-related, maybe not. It's just, it's sick and it's sad, and it's the world we live in. We talked about that already, Adian. We talked about qualified immunity. You're going to have to scroll back. So giving him drugs to carry around with him is not a good idea. I'm very much against it. All right, I think we covered enough comments on this video. Let's go ahead and go to another video. So I hope you have enjoyed this one. If you liked it, don't forget to hit that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. I mean, it all depends, spontaneity. It all depends on what the crime is, and can you afford a lawyer? I mean, if you don't hire a lawyer here in Kentucky, and you don't qualify for public defender, which you will on a felony, of course, but you don't just get freebies before getting a criminal conviction on your record. The public defender will do their best to lower the charges, but there's no guarantee that they're going to be successful. They are overworked and underpaid. Gang of Four, what are you on today, my brother? Good God, is it too much coffee or too much Colombian marching powder? I can't figure it out. I wouldn't go so far as to call them public pretenders, Brian McNair. They're very, very hard workers. I know a lot of good public defenders who are very, very good at their job. But again, they're overworked and underpaid, and they do their best with all the cases that they can, but they can't get to all of them. They can't get to all of them. So it's definitely worth the money to get a DUI attorney to get the charges down if they can, ball deep. Absolutely. All right, so let's pick another video. I think somebody mentioned the video of me cross-examining the rookie officer in Hardin County. We're gonna take this video right here. Give me 1 second. I was never a PD, no. Oh, no, you're good, Gang of Four. I'm just giving you some shit. You're good. No, I deal with DUIs, criminal misdemeanors like assaults, batteries, thefts, drug offenses, shoplifting, speeding tickets, and now we also do civil cases, like we do car accidents and we do civil rights cases as well. Switchmaster. That was the answer to your question. So that's the link. This is the video. It's how to stun and rattle a cop under oath in a very stern cross-examination battle. It's got about 90% like to dislike ratio, so that's good. 9-to-1. For every 9 likes, we got 1 dislike. So might be, actually, no, more than that. It's like 10, yeah, like 10-to-1. For every 10 likes, I got 1 dislike. So like 91%. The very first comment, I guess I pinned it a week ago. These comments and the way the cop is talking as I'm watching the video has me in tears. My ribs are hurting right now. The comments, all right, let's read the comments. There you go. There's another one 3 days ago by Leslie Stark. You don't have the video? No, I don't, because there was no video in this case. And this is why all police officers should be forced to wear body cameras. I'm reading the comment by Leslie Stark 3 days ago. And this is why all police officers should be forced to wear body cameras and not allowed to turn them off at any time. Professional video people can review the footage, make sure it is interpreted correctly. And by professional video people, I mean people, not a part of the blank police force. Why have police officers been given such leeway to do whatever the hell they want? They are not above the law or the people they serve. And outside of police duties, when a cop is off the clock, as it were, they sometimes commit crimes as well. Because your job is tough, that doesn't give you the right to do whatever the hell you want. I mean, completely agree. If you find being a cop is too tough, then go plant blank tomatoes, because we don't need cops like you. Okay, extreme, Leslie, extreme. But I dig it for real. If you cannot handle the pressure, don't do the job. I mean, go do something else. Go plant tomatoes. I like that alternative. Go do something that you're going to be comfortable with. That's not going to, I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, my brain just literally went whoop, blank. What was I saying? Go do something that your nervous system can handle. There we go. So you should not be allowed to turn your body cameras off. I absolutely, completely agree. Wow, this lawyer must be every cop's worst nightmare. Maybe. I doubt it. I mean, to them, it's just the case, honestly. But thank you for that comment, Brian R. Dixie Rebel. That is what we are forced to pay taxes to fund. This cop's shoe size is higher than his IQ. Attacking the cop's intelligence, I guess that's cute. Okay. They're nice and docile in court and very well behaved. Oh, this is a good comment. There says Optimum PCYT. They're nice, talking about the police officers. They're nice and docile in court and very well behaved. But if you call them out on their BS in the field, they get real angry and hostile with you and very aggressive. All of those are true statements. Because you got to remember, and this is not always. In court, sometimes they will snap, especially if there is no jury. If we're doing a hearing, I've had officers appear awfully cocky. Awfully cocky. I mean, they don't care. They'll just spew whatever they need to spew to get whatever they need to get. Because the only person really watching them and deciding it is who? The judge. And they know the judge, or they know that the judge is going to be more or less on their side, which is often the case. Thanks for that, Jamie. I appreciate it. But they calm the F down when they're in court. Why? Because they know they have 6 men and women right over there watching their every move, watching their every word, their every gesture, everything about them. And they are watching and they are judging both the cop and the case. Every witness that comes through. I think I talk about credibility, that they're one of their jobs as jurors is to determine who is a credible and who is not a credible witness. That is simply one of their duties. And those cannot be understated, because their BS detectors are always there and they're always going off. So, and if something rubs them the wrong way, I always tell them, pay attention to that, because that is going to be the determining factor a lot of times as to whether or not they're going to believe a person's testimony. So it's no joke. It's the real deal. Let's see some more. Well, let's read your comments. Ball deep, you keep asking the same. Yes, it's 6 jurors in district court trials and 12 in circuit court, Jamie. Will Love Slots, hire a lawyer. Don't ask me questions to give you free legal advice on a public forum. Same goes for you, Baldeep Singh. This is not the time for, hey, help me, give me free advice on my legal case, okay? You want me to give you advice? Give me money. Get me paid and I'll help you out if it's in Kentucky. If not, I can recommend somebody in your state. All right, let's get back to the comments. You want to stun a cop, ask him to tell the truth or honor their oath. That is so bad. OMG, all the officer did was smirk the whole time. What a complete... Okay, all right, I need to... This is the video we're talking about. Let's see if we can... Cops find some comments that are not so crude or crass. Cops always blather on about staying safe. It's their universal sympathy card. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Whenever an officer needs an out for something that they have done, and they need to show that they did this where they shouldn't have done this. I did this for officer safety. I did that because of officer safety. I asked him out of the car because of officer safety. I told him to put his hands on the wheel. He didn't do it. Officer safety. He didn't do it. So I smacked him over the head with my baton and arrested him. I mean, officer safety, right? Just officer safety. If it was done for officer safety, that's the only reason I beat him over the head senselessly until he was bleeding from the skull. It was officer safety. I felt unsafe. And then once I realized that I killed him, I felt safe. I felt safe once he was dead. I mean, it's ridiculous. Sometimes they go overboard. It's always funny to me when the dumb cops try to sound intelligent in court. My goodness, I never read these comments like this. This is crazy. He received 40 hours of how to screw the public, 40 hours of training on how to screw the public. The dude couldn't even give a straight answer if he had a ruler. Says, I'm a chick. Hey, I think she's in here. I think she's, I saw her comment earlier. Yeah, there she is. Legal Shield is a joke. I just saw your comment. I just read your comment after I saw your comment, and then I saw you commented, and then I realized you're in my channel, and I realized that you're also watching the stream, and you commented on the stream, and you commented on the video. Do 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 do. How did I get in focusing on DUI type cases? Asks the beer chasers. How did I get focused on DUI litigation? It's very difficult. It's one of the most difficult areas of law. Murder is easier to do than a DUI. And DUIs are just, that's what I like things that stimulate the mind. I like things that stimulate my brain. I like things that, they inspire me. They inspire me to do good. And if I do something simple, like I could have been, the master of assaults or something like that. But I'd be bored. I'd be so bored. It's a lot more fun to like take a very difficult area of law and be successful at it. Because if you can be successful at a difficult area of law, then it's going to be very, very easy to do anything else. But if you take the easy stuff and then as soon as you start tackling the harder cases, I mean, forget about it. There's no progress there. Have I ever attended the TLC? Is that the Tender Loving Club? What is that? Hey, Eli, how you doing? Will I consider a shift to defend? If the protesters call me, Gene, would I consider the shift to defending protesters? Absolutely. I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't I? I'm a chick. Thank you for the $10 donation. You really didn't have to. I appreciate that. That's going to cover my protein for tomorrow. I should make a DUI trial course for attorneys, says Spontaneity. No, I'm not there yet, brother. I am nowhere near being there yet. I go to seminars. I may eventually speak at one. I probably will on some type of trial strategy or something. I definitely see that happening in the very near future, but actually having my own course, maybe one day. I'm having too much fun trying these cases for now. Let's go back to the comments. Conventional Redneck says, this case should have been dismissed before it even started. I'm going to like and heart that one. That case should have been dismissed. We're back on... I do use pauses for effect. TV show in my future? Maybe. I don't know. I always wanted to be on TV. Let's see. The lawyer was great, very impressive. Thank you, Tom Cena Longshore. Man, he had his hands up because he didn't want to be shot. That's true. There was a point in that trial where the officer testified that my client got out of the car and he had his hands up like that all the way up, and my client is African American. This is 5 years ago, but you know, it still happened. And the cop was white, of course. So he got up because he didn't want to be shot. That's why he had his hands up. And the officer demonstrated in court. Like, I think the reason he did that is because he thought that my client was like admitting guilt this way. Like, I surrender. I screwed up. Please arrest me or something. I don't know. I don't know what was going through his head, honestly. But he did that. Let's see some more comments here. The cop reminds me of the witness in My Cousin Vinny. He cooked his grits in 5 minutes. Oh, shoot. Some of the officers really annoy me, says Bobby Pointer. That was Dario Naharis, by the way. Dario Naharis, the cop reminds me of the witness in My Cousin Vinny. Cooked his grits in 5 minutes. That's funny as hell. Some of the officers really annoy me, says Bobby Pointer. They are constantly telling in court hearings that they are so in fear for their safety. There's the safety argument again. That seems to be overbroad, cover my ass statement. What we just talked about. If they are such cowards that they are constantly scared, stop being a cop and let competent people who are brave and professional do the damn job. And again, it's scary and it's sad, but it's true. Sometimes these police departments have to scrape the bottom of the barrel in order to find somebody to be a cop. And it's just so sad because nobody wants to do the job. It's a thankless job with no money and poor benefits. You have to spend years, I mean decades in it in order to receive any type of pension. It's just not worth it for a lot of people, and I totally get it. It's a thankless, dead-end job for a lot of people. Courts are back in session as of June 1st, by the way, Parakeet Salt. The two Utes. The two Utes. Yes. Thank you for the coffee, Bob. I appreciate that, brother. All right, gang of four. I'll see you later, brother. Stay off that coffee. I saw a comment on here that I wanted to... Do I have any police friends? Asks Richard. Absolutely. Oh, yes. I have quite a few, actually. And they're good people. They're good men and women on the force. I actually have recently learned of one of my attorney friends down south where COVID-19, I guess, has really dried up business, and he really wanted to... he said he got bored. I believe him. He got bored in the profession and went to the other side. He's a sheriff now, and God bless him. I mean, God bless him. He's going to bring some knowledge to that force. I don't even know how he got the job. With a law degree, and I think, I don't know, over a decade, definitely. He's got more, maybe like 15 years worth of experience as an attorney, to now switch sides with all that education, all that knowledge, and to become a sheriff's deputy. God, I don't know how he got the job, but God bless him. And he's going to bring some knowledge to that force. And that's going to be really good for everybody, both the public, the force, himself, the people, everybody. I think in that scenario, everybody wins. I've heard of lawyers switching sides to become cops. It's very, very rare. The most common you see are cops turning defense lawyers, or cops turning prosecutors, turning defense lawyers. I've seen that. That's the more common trend because of the pay grade. You know, you start as a cop, you make your 26 or whatever a year, you become a prosecutor, make your 35 or 40, and then defense lawyer is where you really start making the money. Many cops make above 60 to 75K. Very few, actually, at least in Kentucky. I mean, bigger cities probably, obviously, to maintain standard of living. In Kentucky, I mean, you can all look it up. It's all public record. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I remember I saw numbers in the 20s and 30s, 20s and 30,000s over there. So somebody else trying to get some free advice out of me here, Kim? Let's see, who's the culprit? Who's the culprit? Hugo Carvajal. Can you help me recommend a good lawyer? But I can't get an answer from you. Can I get in touch with you, please? 502-931-6788. Call me tomorrow, 9 to 5 Eastern. Seattle cops make 80. Wow, that's not bad. That's really not bad. Starting out, Tony? Starting out, Seattle cops make $80,000 a year? Well, how much do LMPD make? Let's look this up. LMPD, salaries. The starting salary for new recruits is $34,236. Approximately 2,180 police officers work in a greater Louisville metropolitan area with an average annual salary of $46,650. There you go. There you have it. Illinois, they make 75 to 125. That makes sense. Again, big metropolitan area. Michigan City, Indiana, cops make 48, starting out with a take-home car. I mean, that's really nice. That's really nice. So, I mean, pretty decent. Pretty decent. Not the worst, not the best. Let's see if we can get some more numbers here. I mean, yeah, I see that. Well, see, this is an employee. This is not a cop. They're in finance and they're making 75. Louisville Metro Police, a lieutenant, here you go, a police lieutenant is making $88,795. A sergeant is making $72,441. Corrections officer makes 52. These are just random numbers. I'm not saying that's the average or anything like that. Obviously, lieutenants and sergeants are going to be making a whole lot more. A corrections captain, 75. The highest paid police lieutenant at LMPD makes just under 100K. That's an interesting fact. The police chief, of course, the highest paid at 175 a year. And these are all before overtime. Yeah, this is the annual rate that I'm reading. A lot of them, obviously, with their overtime, they've made a whole lot more. Like Chief Conrad, our police chief, even though his salary was 175, he made 201 last year. Now, he's obviously gone. He was supposed to leave on June 30th, but Mayor Fisher let him go 2 weeks ago. The corrections chief makes 147, but he only cleared 127 last year. I wonder why that is. I guess too many days off. Mark Bolton. The fire chief makes 142, but he cleared 162. The Parks and Recreation director, although his salary is 132, he only made 27,000. I guess he only worked like, what is that? That's like less than a third. No, what am I saying? That's like less than a sixth, right? I can't do math in my head. 27, like, yeah, it's about a fifth. It's about a fifth. About a fifth. Anyway, ooh, got distracted by numbers. Okay. Yeah, so let's read some other comments. Let's go to another video, shall we? Let's go to one more before we close out here. Let's go to this one right here. This is a fun video that I've done. A fun hearing with Judge Amber Wolf. This is the no pants judge, as a lot of you all have come to know and love her. This is the no pants judge, Judge Amber Wolf. There was a defendant that appeared in front of her one time and she was not wearing any pants, so she was basically yelling and barking orders at the corrections department as to why they had a defendant that was deprived of her feminine hygiene products and pants. So that's the DUI case. Desperate to get a win, a prosecutor moves to recuse a judge for something she never did. Thank you, Dave K. I appreciate it. Thanks, man, for the $20 donation. Says, your help and knowledge is priceless. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Is court back in session? Yes, it is, Spontaneity, as of June 1st. DUI guy, got a question for you. How do you defend someone you know is innocent and have seen Nick's videos in Florida? Call me on working hours, Tony, if you got a case. All right, so let's read some of these comments here. And by the way, the very first comment, this is the same judge that jumped the person who runs a local jail for sending an inmate to her with no pants. Awesome lady. Edit. The amount of people trying to stretch the definition of pants to include shorts is really depressing and just screams idiotic bias. Language evolves, people. What I meant one thing in the 1800s can mean something totally different 200 years later. Definitely. Prosecutors never like judges that give defendants a fair trial. So freaking true. Prosecutors never like judges that give defendants a fair trial because it means the DA actually has to do their jobs, says Luther's Janitorial. I'm going to heart that comment. That is absolutely true. It's funny how upset she is while keeping her cool. So very true. I like this woman. We need more judges like her. Absolutely agree. Sasquatchian Viking. The DA guy, I'm guessing he's referring to the district attorney. The DA guy is trying to strong-arm the younger female judge. He's using the going over your head intimidating tactics to try and control the whole process. He screwed himself, LMAO. I don't know how much he screwed himself. I mean, unfortunately, that Judge Wolf, I think she's coming back to criminal docket. She was in civil docket for a while. They take away all the good judges, the judges that are good for the defense. They kind of do away with those and put them in other places, which is really unfortunate. But sometimes we get them back. I think April 15th, had courts not been closed due to COVID, we were due to receive a nice batch of good defense-friendly judges on our side. So it is what it is. You gotta make do with what you got, basically, is the name of the game. But he's absolutely right. He's in that video. He's trying to go over her head as the Supreme Court will be ruling on you if such and such. Sounds like we got a question. Do I prefer virtual court or court in real life, ignorant pleb? Great question. Absolutely, without a doubt, no questions, hands down, in person. Because you lose so much when you are not physically talking to the witness, when the jurors don't physically see the witness. I mean, you lose the human element, which is vital to good defense work. Prosecutors wouldn't care. Prosecutors, to the contrary, they can maybe have like a piece of paper that's going to be hidden that the defense won't even see, that the witness is reading. You can't ask the witness to, I'm not reading anything. No, I don't have anything. I'm not reading anything, even though it's right there in front of them and they're just lying. Or maybe the camera, they can always argue, oh, my camera is broken. I'm sorry, Your Honor, my camera is not working or something like that. And now we lose that human element. I mean, it's just bad. So many things can go wrong. So many things can be, these prosecutors are tricky. Don't get me wrong. A lot of them don't play fair. They don't play by the rules. They don't care. They just want to win. They have egos just like everybody else. They want a victory. They want to chalk a +1 to their roster. They're egomaniacs just like everybody else. Lawyers, period, are egomaniacs. It's just the way it is. We're indoctrinated into us in law school. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. Decent American wrote 2 months ago, I just researched the DA. His name is Richwalski, Paul Richwalski. He has a history of crooked conduct and covering up police misconduct. He needs to be disbarred. Well, there you go. The public has spoken. He's done some research. Cody T says that guy is a Karen and wants to speak to her manager. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Whenever a lawyer says to a judge, with all due respect, that is code for I have no respect for you whatsoever. That's sad but true. By the way, for those of you who are just joining us, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can get notified whenever I go live, which is typically Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And whenever I post new videos, which we will hopefully have some more videos for you all shortly. But today we're just streaming because I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, so I didn't want to leave you guys hanging without a live stream this week. So the next live stream will be next Saturday, which is June 20th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about something fun. We're going to be talking about operation issues and this string of cases called Wells, Armstrong, and Crosby, in that order. All right, let's go back to the comments. The defense attorney just stood there watching him dig the DA, watching the DA dig his own grave. Genius. Thank you, roommate 625, for that comment. Isn't this the judge that released? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Here you go. Shannon Conder says, I live in Louisville, born and raised, and will probably die here. And Judge Amber Wolf is a great example of how a judge should preside in a courtroom. She stays professional even when those around her fail to do so. So very, very true. Very true. Switchmaster. I am 32. I just turned 32 in May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. My date of birth is very interesting. It's 5588. And right now we have 66 people with 66 likes as I said that. 5588, 66, 66. So any numerologists out there want to tell me what that means, by all means, be my guest. But yeah, 5588 is my birth date. I think most of you knew the date, but none of you knew the year. No, I've told you guys my age before. It's not like I'm hiding it. You know, I'm proud to be a successful attorney and while I'm young, because, you know, I could be having all this success when I'm 57, but I won't have as much time to enjoy it, which would be very unfortunate. So it's nice to be young and having a little bit of success behind me so that I can continue to prosper and grow as an attorney. And I just, I had my first gray hair, by the way. You all can see this is all salt and pepper. This is all natural. I don't dye my hair. I don't put products anymore. I used to gel my hair. I couldn't leave the house without gelling my hair, but I don't do that anymore. What's it called? Yeah, this is all natural. I got my first gray hair when I was like 17. So this is all genetics. And then stress and all that help kind of gray it out further. I don't know if you guys stopped commenting or my thing broke, but I don't see your comments. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Okay, I guess you guys just stopped commenting. June 6, 1966 would be a very unfortunate date to be born. Dave K., I completely agree. That's bad. October 6th, the day LSD was made illegal. Really? Huh. 10/666. Is that you? Is that your birthday, Dave? Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry, man. 6666. It's easy to remember, though. I mean, it doesn't matter how drunk you are. It doesn't matter how blitzed out of your skull. Anybody asks, like, how old are you? Just 6666. Like, all you have to do is just say a few sixes, and hopefully they'll get the idea. It's like, was he born 600 years ago? No, it's June 6th, 66. Oh, okay, all right, easy enough. Let's go back to the comments real quick. We'll go for another few minutes. Darrow. Oh, God, I love Darrow. Darrow and, gosh, what's his name? The one that started the trial college over in oh, my goodness, why am I blanking on his name? The one who wrote How to Argue and Win Every Time. what's his name? Famous lawyer. Just Jerry Spence. Jerry Spence, one of my heroes. Jerry Spence, Clarence Darrow. Absolutely love their work. Some of the more recent lawyers, Steve Romines, here in Kentucky, a very big name, done a lot of criminal work. Now he's doing a lot of civil work as well. The phrase, going back to the comments, Coda002, the phrase "with all due respect" is always followed by a disrespectful remark. So very true. There's no excuse for not being punctual. If you're not in the courtroom on time, then you're getting a default judgment against you. That goes from both sides. Very true. Everything indicates that the prosecutor is very crappy at his job. He's even bad at speaking. Ouch. Daniel Galen, thank you for that comment. I'd file a motion to dismiss. Defendant was denied a speedy trial due to the stalling tactics of the DA's office. We didn't file that, Fred Kithcart, but we ended up taking it to trial and winning anyway. Lawyer in the suit. That's me, just coughing. Blue shirt guy, the DA. Can I finish? Just gives a long, hard stare. Thank you. Your motion is denied. Oh, such beautiful words. Such beautiful words. Just because you're older doesn't make you wiser. I mean, I could go on and on. These comments are all fantastic. So anyway, let's go to you all. I know I've been doing reading comments and kind of doing a Q&A as a sort of mix here tonight on this lazy Sunday. We're going to go another 6 minutes. Let's go to 11, and then I got to get to bed. It's going to be a long, busy day tomorrow on a Monday. So if you all have any questions, you have about 5-6 minutes. Bye, Jamie. Thanks for joining us. If anybody has any questions at all, now is the time. If not, then we'll be able to end this and then come back next Saturday. The most I've ever earned on a DUI case, Jonathan Lovelace, I think it was 15, maybe 16,000. I forget exactly. If you do the math, it was a DUI third. It was two. It was two pending DUI thirds. And I ended up getting a fantastic deal that I think ended up carrying no jail time. If they did, it was already like time served. Oh, I stay away from these pro se attorneys, ignorant pleb. I had one call me yesterday trying to tell me how he had like 7 DUIs, and beat them all or something like that. I mean, he's trying to tell me, like, to give me advice on how to win these cases. I mean, it's cute, but yeah. Hey, Liberty Cause, I'm almost done here. I'm almost done. You're at the tail end, buddy. You're coming at the tail end. Absolute immunity, I think that's not going away anytime soon, Bob. You require a clear violation of the law, as we discussed, in order to get those away. Why do I pull the podium up closer? I like the way the cops smell. Sue me. I like to smell their fear. Will I be your lawyer in Claremont County, CT Tib? Is that in Kentucky? It doesn't sound like it's in Kentucky. Where's Claremont County? Claremont. Sounds like California. A haircut? Yeah, I'm gonna be getting a haircut here shortly. I think I have one scheduled on June 29th, so 2 weeks from tomorrow. I'm gonna be cutting all this crazy hair. Ohio? I can pro Hakovici into Ohio probably. CD Tib. Give me a call tomorrow. Here's my number. All right. All right. I guess we're going to end here. I thank you all for joining me on this lovely, lovely Sunday evening. Just had a fun time chatting with you all, just enjoying it, listening to your ramblings and reading your comments on the videos. I really, really appreciate your joining me tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. This weekend's pretty much over, so I can't wish you a good rest of your weekend. But what I can is wish you a good night, pleasant dreams, and don't get in trouble. But if you do, shut up, don't blow, don't do the tests. Choose to refuse or you will lose. Call the DUI guy if you get in trouble. 1-844-4-DUI-GUI. Peace out, everybody. Till next time. Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Bye-bye.